The Bolton Wanderers players have gone on strike over their continued unpaid wages, and therefore the game against Brentford today has been called off. Now, the EFL are referring this matter to an independent disciplinary committee. Now, the EFL, in my view, could have stepped in and guaranteed the players' wages until the end of the season. It's a couple of games. They could have said, here's some money. We'll try and reimburse you as much as possible, because when a company goes insolvent or bankrupt, there is certain legal redundancy that needs to be given. They could have had a similar policy there. If a club hits financial difficulties, for whatever reason, that the players and the club staff have at least some of their wages guaranteed, at least some money coming in. These players have been going unpaid since March. So this is nearly 2 months. We don't know what's going to happen at the end of this month, at the end of April, but they haven't been paid since the beginning of March. So that is a fair amount of time without money. And everyone thinks football players are all massively overpaid, these 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand a week kind of players. When you get to championship level and below, the wages aren't as big as you think. And these players have families, they've got bills to pay, they've got to buy food, all that kind of thing. They're like any other normal worker. They will be on higher than your average salary, obviously, but to go unpaid for 2 or 3 months when, you've got bills going out, you're eating into your savings. That could be money that you've set aside for your kids to inherit. That could be a whole variety of things. You've got to pay any kind of insurance you have, contents, car, health, all that as well. If you've got all these bills going out, you've got to pay them. And if you default, that affects your credit rating. So on an economic side, I've been here where I've been out of work or been going unpaid. I know how these Bolton Wanderers players feel to a certain extent. I have some sympathy with them. Now, the statement from the EFL is pretty cowardly, I think. I think the EFL have failed Bolton. Now, before I go any further, the Brentford fans can still have the opportunity to watch some sport this weekend. The London Broncos have stepped in the Superleague, Rugby League, and they've communicated with Brentford, and they've said any Brentford fans who have bought tickets to watch today's game that has now been called off can use their ticket at the London Broncos game. They can come down and watch the Broncos play a home match this weekend in Ealing, which is not too far from Brentford in West London. So they've said, your tickets are totally redeemable at the Broncos. There's a slight fee on top of that, but your tickets are redeemable. I think it's a £5 fee for administration, things like that. But they've said, you can come down and watch the London Broncos game. You're more than welcome to join the London Broncos Rugby League family for the day. And that is a touching gesture. They've reached out to another fan base and said, look, come down. So at least some Brentford fans have the option to watch a sporting fixture this weekend that they've paid for. And they can come in and watch the London Broncos play. On the Bolton side of things, let's have a look at what the EFL have said and what's going to possibly happen going forward. So the EFL have released a statement. They've said, as a result of these disappointing developments, the league has been forced to suspend Saturday's fixture. The club, Bolton, is now deemed to be guilty of misconduct and will be referred to an independent disciplinary commission. The EFL board will now consider the matter of determining whether the fixture will be played or not. So basically they're saying the fixture is postponed, but it can still be played later on in the season, although there's only a couple of weekends left when they're going to play it. That's the thing. In a club statement, Bolton said they would like to apologise for the inconvenience this will cause. Brentford's squad travelled north from London on Friday, so Brentford have already started to travel for this game, which was due to be played at the stadium in Bolton. Players' decision not taken lightly. Earlier on Friday, the Wanderers squad had issued a joint statement saying that the financial situation was creating mental, emotional and financial burdens for people through no fault of their own. They added it was placing great strain on ourselves and our families. The players also apologised to supporters for what may be seen as a drastic action, but stressed the decision had not been taken lightly and that they had taken a stance with deep regret. The PFA, said which has also failed in this situation, I do believe, said on Friday afternoon that it supported the players' actions, adding that they had shown great patience and loyalty to the club, but had reached a point where action is necessary. Again, the amount of money the PFA has, they could have also stepped in and paid these unpaid wages to the squad. The PFA has been working with the club since the beginning of the season, and we have done all we can to resolve this issue, including giving Bolton Wanderers a substantial loan. See? They could have done this again in December to cover the players' salaries. Earlier this month, Bolton's players refused to train for 48 hours in support of club staff because the club staff also went unpaid. But here's the thing. Full-time staff at the club, not part-time, got their wages. If you're a part-time worker at Bolton, you still are going unpaid. On Friday night, before the EFL called the game off, prospective new owner Lawrence Bassini said he would work to ensure Saturday's fixture went ahead. He told Sky Sports News that the players' wages would be paid and they would speak to the EFL in an attempt to find a resolution. Of course, none of that's actually happened. Bassini's a dodgy owner from his days at Watford, and this raises questions about the fit and proper persons test. out of all this, only the Brentford fans who bought tickets have the opportunity to watch a live sporting fixture this weekend with the London Broncos, which I have to admit is a touching gesture and a very positive gesture by the Broncos. But the way the EFL has worded their statement, it looks like they're pointing their finger of blame at the players as well, and this is totally unacceptable. The EFL, much like the PFA, could have given a loan to the club so the players could get paid until the end of the season and then do whatever they had to do in the off-season. The club's been relegated from the Championship. They can't stay up. So, we don't know. We don't even know if Bolton are going to be able to play next season at this current situation. This is how serious it is. I feel sorry for the fans. I feel sorry for all the staff at Bolton because this article and the statements released make no mention of the part-time staff who work for Bolton Wanderers. That could be shop staff, office staff, stewards. Only the full-time staff have got paid. So the part-time staff have even less money coming in. The players are going unpaid as well. This is a sorry state of affairs. Will their other league fixtures at the end of the season go ahead? No one knows. And what does the future hold for Bolton? Because, this supposed takeover was meant to be completed. It's not been completed. Where do we stand? We don't know. It's a mess. And the EFL have failed. Now, the PFA have stepped in December. They should have stepped in again and paid those wages. They've done it before. There's precedent. They're refusing. They're not doing it again. The PFA are not covering themselves in glory. The EFL are not covering themselves in glory, neither of the FA. And technically, because Bolton weren't that long ago a Premier League club, the Premier League with their parachute payments, where's that money gone? Questions will be asked about a lot of things going into this summer and the post-season. A lot of questions will be asked, but for now, I'm going to leave that there. If you're a Brentford fan, as I say, you are given the opportunity by the London Broncos to watch a Super League match down in Ealing, which I have to admit is a touching gesture. Bolton fans, they really have been let down by the EFL. Massively, and the players and the club staff. This is unacceptable and it should never have happened because the PFA shown precedence with giving an emergency loan in December. They can surely do that again to make sure that the game can go ahead, but the EFL has said at the last moment to go, no, the game is called off. Will it get rearranged or will the 3 points automatically go to Brentford and a 2-0 defeat be registered against Bolton? That's generally the precedent if you cannot fulfil a fixture. We shall find out. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below, and I'll have some more videos and on this issue and other issues for you very, very soon.